like this. It's kind of cute, not gonna lie. I can hear myself. Hope I can hear myself this time. They're not.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
You do not know burden until you've seen 1,000 people hanging on your every word.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Too much. Right here. Right here.
Dance with what brought you. In this case, blades.
Minions have spawned.
I know they'll be back. I carry a lot more than these blades.
I'm not sure. Oh, right here, right? This, right? There you go. Yo.
They came for our magics. They'll pay with their lives.
It's a move.
Step with me. Give them no foothold! Peace must sometimes be bought with blood. Do we want to be safe or free? The choice is ours. Always attack at an angle.
First blood. An ally has been slain. Double kill.
We stand or perish. I have walked the silver plains and fished the rivers of grass. The land knows me. The dance begins.
No match for me.
None are, dear wolf.
You have been slain.
I could have survived that.
My form was
An enemy has been slain.
Go, wolf!
Run them down.
Put down the bitch doing what?
An ally has been slain.
Out. Got it done. I did not light my Oma's lantern.
Was that hiccups?
I don't want her to see this slaughter. The blades fly in sync.
Oh.
the children of the First Lands, and we will not be slaves. I am both the tranquil sea and the tempest. A single pebble may sink a warship, and 1,000 pebbles. Live today like you're going to die tomorrow. Spirit, guide me. Now! Slice through them. I really should have stretched first. Oh well. When no one's around, I dance for myself.
You knocked me off of my feet now, baby. Squish, 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 squish.
Father, mother, Zelos, oh, Kai, little Ruth. None of them ever had a chance.
Slain.
Suck, bro.
You do not know burden until you've seen 1,000 people hanging on your every word. There's a saying, never fight Ionians on their home soil. And the whole world will move. Stop their retreat! This one kills desperate.
Why did he press 6?
We do this for those who came before us, and those who come next. It's quiet now. Time to find my own rhythm. Freedom has a demanding rhythm. 2.
An ally has been slain.
never surrender!
Asayo! Get your guard up.
The enemy has been slain.
Leave this land!
An ally has been slain.
Peace requires 2 participants.
Shut down.
Look sharp!
Rampage.
To live under a boot is not to live.
My turn.
Chase to your heart.
Remember what's been lost. Fight for what hasn't been.
An enemy has been slain.
Ionia calls!
Back off.
Enemy killing spree.
Only I can escape the void.
Better times there were, and will be again.
Get ripped.
The voices of my brothers still carry on the wind. Well, time to find my feet. Alone at last. I'll make the most of it. I did not light my Oma's lantern. I don't want her to see this slaughter. Mother, Zelos, Oma, Own, Little Rue. None of them ever had a chance.
An enemy has been slain.
Face the wind!
An ally has been slain. An enemy has been slain.
The mastered
will fall
weapon needs
soon.
no heft. Zelos told the worst jokes. How I miss them.
The chin!
You do not know burden until you've seen 1,000 people hanging on your every word.
Gone. This is stupid.
Cut them down! My Oma always said I had angry feet. If they capture me, they'll kill me. If. Strike fast, and without misstep. See. Leave none alive! You'll rue this day.
Shut down.
All your life has led to this.
The spirit revives me. I will not disappoint. I did not light my Oma's lantern. I don't want her to see this slaughter. These blades were whetted on the bones of turrets.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Be the leader they need. I am not unfriendly. I am a warm and caring person. Ionia still stands!
You have slain an enemy.
I never meant to lead. I fought, and they followed. None can do what I do, so I will do it.
Face the wind!
I move to
Enemy
unsung
killing
melodies,
spree.
beaten rhythms.
Shut down.
Such a sordid weapon, but effective.
Your turret has been destroyed.
Father, Mother, Zelos, Oma, Own, Kai, Little Rue. None of them ever had a chance.
Then I'm on my wrist and it's stung again. Yeah, right.
Give them an inch, they'll take a kingdom.
Oh shit, like that.
An enemy has been
You
slain.
do not know until you've seen 1,000 people hanging on your
An
every
ally has been slain.
Follow me into destruction!
Enemy double kill. An ally has been
Have a
slain.
good chase!
Our time is now.
Shut down. An ally has been slain.
Need to get my rhythm back. Oh, you've got lead feet.
Your
My strange power goes through me. I do not know.
ally has been slain.
I did not light my Oma's lantern. I don't want her to see this slaughter. Heads up! Shall we?
Enemy killing spree.
Break their line! We are sharpest where we
Enemy
play.
double kill.
Now see.
Enemy triple kill. Your turret has been destroyed.
Our mark.
Who's next?
This is far from over. We have not yet begun to fight. Better duck!
Be our sacrament! Take you over!
Each form has a name known only to the best.
Has been slain. Shut down.
We are the only masters of our fate. Care to dance? Take this. Better duck. Glowing there. Father, Mother, Zelos, Oma, Own, Kai, Little Rue. None of them ever had a chance. Where they fell, freedom grew. You do not know burden until you've seen 1,000 people hanging on your every word. My dance has 42 forms. They'll only see one.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Take this!
Ione has destroyed a turret.
Better die! Heads up!
Never stop learning. There's always a form you don't know.
Take this!
Harm no one, unless they come for the
An enemy has been slain. An ally has been slain. An ally has been slain.
Their weapons are great, but our will is greater. We must stay moving. Keep them guessing. They thought they could tame our land. When no one's around, I dance for myself. Cut them off! It's our turn!
Shut down.
It appears my dance continues.
Heads up!
I did not light my Oma's lantern. I don't want her to see the slope.
Shut down.
An ocean separates us, for good reason. Of course I can fight. I grew up with 4 siblings. Father, Mother,
Your
Zealous,
team has destroyed a turret.
Own, Kai.
Your turret has been destroyed.
None of them ever had a chance.
Your turret has been destroyed.
They didn't kill us all.
An ally has been slain.
Remember the CRYPTIDS!
Cannot know if I'm stopped by the way.
Enemy triple kill. Shut down. You have slain an enemy.
Savor life's closing act.
An enemy has been slain. Ace.
Instead of the hash thing and slasher.
My form was off. Can't let them see. I've never killed a person. Just a lot of Noxians. Ours is the land of magic, and that is worth dying for. For the fallen! I'm warmed up.
Your team has destroyed a turret. Your team has destroyed a turret. Your team has destroyed an inhibitor.
The spirit revives me. I will not disappoint. Stay ready, and there is no need to get ready.
An ally has been slain.
They'll know me as the last to lay down her weapons. Even if they kill me, they'll still have to fight the land.
An ally has been slain.
I remember when I danced for fun. It's quiet now. Time to find my own rhythm. Dance with what brought you. In this case, blades. carry a lot more than these blades. Stop their retreat! Look, a death.
Shut down. An ally has been slain. Enemy down. An enemy has been slain. Shut down. Aced. Your turret has been destroyed. Your turret has been destroyed.
Ugh. Need to get my rhythm back.
Your inhibitor has been destroyed.
No room for error.
Face the wind!
An enemy is dominating.
They came for our magics. They'll pay with their lives. Ionia calls!
You have slain an enemy. An enemy has been slain.
It's all in the footwork.
Down.
Time to find my feet. You do not know burden until you've seen 1,000 people hanging on your every word.
The enemy's inhibitor is respawning soon. Your team has destroyed an inhibitor.
I hit back.
An enemy is godlike.
Stay composed.
Not here, not yet.
An ally has been slain.
This must sometimes be bought with blood. Do we want to be safe or free? The choice is ours. They can run, but they
Feel the
leave no
Shut down. An ally has been slain. An enemy has been slain.
Heads up.
Shut down.
This is far from over. We have not yet begun to fight.
Your turret has been destroyed.
Push them back! See, keep. I did not light my Oma's lantern. I don't want her to see this slaughter. Invader!
Your inhibitor is respawning soon.
Father, Mother, Zelos, Oma, Own,
An ally has been slain.
Little Rue. None of them ever had a chance.
We win.
Favor likes closing act.
An ally has been
Almost
slain.
made it.
No wings.
Your team has destroyed an
Better
inhibitor.
duck.
Your inhibitor has been destroyed.
Back off. Heads up.
Your inhibitor has been destroyed. The enemy's inhibitor is respawning soon.
It appears my dance continues.
An ally has been slain.
We are the children of the First Lands, and we will not be slaves. Break their lines!
Ally has been slain. An ally has been slain. Aced. Enemy rampage. Your turret has been destroyed. Your turret has been destroyed.
Just can't win
Defeat.
games, yo. Like, shit is fucking ridiculous. I pop off, do good. This shit happens. I don't even have plans. Oh, that's not real. Dun, 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 dun.
He asked Jean to go with him back to where he's seen this pulsating light. So him and Jean went back there, and they reported that there was this sickening burnt metallic odor that was still there, but the pulsating ball of light was gone. It was completely gone. after they came back to the house, the sheriff Carr arrived with his deputy, Burnell Long, and they searched the area separately from everybody else, and they reported finding no trace of any encounter or anything. So early the next morning, that newspaper owner, Mr. Stewart, decided to go back to the site for a second time during sunlight, and he discovered 2 elongated tracks in the mud, as well as traces of a thick black liquid, which he said he had no explanation and never seen any type of liquid like this before. So that is the famous story of the Flatwoods Monster. And I do have images of it, of the actual drawing that Kathleen and Jean did of the being. And here it is.
He's a good artist.
Yeah.
He's a good artist.
So I really started digging into this, and I wanted to see if I could find any interviews or any like personal accounts from other witnesses or anything. And I did come across a few. A person was interviewed a couple years ago. His name is Wally Hefner, and he was a young kid at the time. Now he's like an old man, but he gave this interesting interview about what he saw that night in the sky, and I figured we could take a listen to it. It's a minute and a half, so we're gonna go ahead and play that right now.
Back in 1952, when the monster was sighted here in Flatwoods, see, I was 13 years old, going to school in Burnsville. But that evening I was sitting on a bench, and I glanced up, and a ball of fire came right across, heading towards Flatwoods. It was so much lower, is what caught my attention. It was reddish orange, and went very fast, but I knew, as low as it was, just clearing the treetops, that it was going to land someplace close, somewhere very close in our county.
It's not how much time you have.
So yeah, that's the interview. By the way, I didn't stick that horrible music on the background. That came with the interview. So
Don't lie. Don't lie. You did it. You want to make it good.
So he said that. So I'm like, okay, there has to be some more accounts, some more strange accounts of this being, and there was 2 more. The mother of Jean, her name was Eugene. Imagine that. She said that on September 12th. Well, hold on. Let me back up. So Gene, when he went back home, he told his mother about what happened, and she's like, "That's weird. That same night at around 7:20, my house was violently shaking, and my radio just cut off for 45 minutes, and I didn't know why." So I thought that was pretty weird. Another weird thing that happened that could have a connection with the Flatwoods Monster was that a week prior to September 12th, a story of a mother and her 21-year-old daughter was in the newspaper, and it said that they encountered a creature with an odor and a similar type of appearance, and that it affected the daughter so badly that she was confined to the Clarksburg Mental Hospital for 3 weeks. That was interesting. You know, the Flatwoods Monster.
Yeah, I'd never heard of him before.
I figured he was like a good UFO / cryptid, you know?
That was a good combination. I liked it.
Yeah.
It looks like... Okay, so it looks like the Iron Giant a little bit.
A little bit, yes.
He does, yeah.
Just that image, that guy just standing there with his hand out like, yeah, I'm going to shake your hand. Come on. Shake my hand.
You look friendly.
Yeah, I'm part of the CIA. I can help you out. You want to live here on Earth? I can help you with
The
that.
Iron Giant as a wizard.
Wait, what? Oh, yeah, as a wizard.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can see that.
Yeah.
Good story. I like that. Thanks for bringing it to the table.
Thank you. All right, Dan. Now it's back to your turn. What's your second cryptid you brought to us this week?
The second one is the Beast of Bray Road.
Okay.
Have y'all ever heard of that one?
Another one I have not heard of.
This one was reported on Bray Road in Elkhorn, Wisconsin. The very first reported sighting of this was in 1936, and it seemed to be like, kind of hid, and then it came back in the 1990s. So it, like, I guess, someone said it was like maybe like a long hibernation, which I don't understand, but okay.
Kind of like Jeepers Creepers.
Yeah, you could say that. That's actually pretty good. I didn't think of that one.
Comes out every, 20, 30 years to harvest body parts.
Yeah. So, the Beast of Bray Road is considered to be a hairy humanoid with canine features. Most cryptozoologists have labeled it as a Bigfoot in order to avoid dealing with the craziness of werewolves. So pretty much this is a werewolf, but they don't want to call it that.
Shit.
They just want to go ahead and label it as Bigfoot and just get over with it. But it's also known as man-wolf, bear-wolf, or an indigenous dogman. So to describe what it looks like, it's said to be about 6 feet tall with gray and brown fur. Its face resembles that of a wolf with shiny yellow eyes and pointed ears. Its body, though furry, looks like a muscular man. The creature is said to run and walk on all 4 of its legs, or just its hind legs, and it has been seen sitting on its haunches and kneeling like a man does. So, there have been many eyewitness accounts of seeing this beast on Bray Road, to where the local sheriffs actually have a government file created, and it is labeled werewolf. So you don't really see that like anywhere.
Do they carry silver bullets? Just in case.
You know, I wouldn't put it past them. It is Wisconsin. Ooh. Gonna get a lot of feedback.
Oh yeah, feel the burn.
Just kidding. Yeah. So, newspaper reporter, or I would say newspaper writer, Linda Godfrey, wrote for the newspaper called The Week. I guess it was like a local paper. She got a report of this wolf-like creature and decided to write an article about it. You know, she didn't really think too much of it. She's just like, you know, I'll write the article about it. Someone called it in. Had a bunch of like, you know, told me the story that they saw it. And it'll be like one of those fill-in articles. To a spot that I needed to fill in a spot, I'll throw it in there. The person that saw it even gave a description of it, so she decided to draw it out. And the lady described it, this beast was kneeling almost on the ground like a person would, with what seemed to be a raccoon and its scary ass claw-like hands, pretty much eating. And I have a picture. This is the original sketch that she did.
Oh. That looks like a werewolf for sure.
Looks like a werewolf.
Weird tail.
You got me sugar inside there.
I like the bottom of it. A certain number of people, good, honest working folk, had seen something unusual, something scary, something hairy, that relished pavement patty dinners. What the hell?
Yeah.
I've never heard roadkill described that way.
No. Hopefully it was fresh. But, you know, you look at that image. First thought is, that's a werewolf.
Absolutely.
Or it's a mascot to someone's high school.
That's true,
We
too.
do this for those who came
Linda
before us,
Godfrey
and
didn't
those who
think
come
it looked
next.
like a traditional werewolf.
Oh, because she sees a lot of those.
Yeah, she's the one that named it the Beast of Bray Road. She didn't want to call it the werewolf, so she named it the Beast of Bray Road. Didn't want to call it a werewolf, but that's a werewolf.
Yeah. You got any actual
You
photos,
got
like
feet.
witness accounts? Like, not witness accounts, but witness photos or photographic evidence of this beast?
I don't think there's really any. Not that I've seen. Well, there seems to be.
Oh my god, you gotta be kidding me. That's a dog walking.
Freedom has
Yeah, that looks like a
landed.
poodle. A poodle that's been trimmed and everything. But only weird thing is, though, its arms look. Yeah.
That thing looks weird as hell. They look like bones for arms.
Yeah.
Weird.
Looks like a husky butt.
Yeah. Fluffy
Of
tail.
course I can
Looks like it's
fight.
wearing a
I
tunic.
grew up with 4
Yeah.
siblings.
Kind of does. A fur tunic.
I've been a hunter and gatherer for 25 years.
The more I look at it, the more scarier it gets. This image.
That, yes. The more you actually look at it.
I'll admit, if I was out in the forest alone and that thing walked up on me like that,
It looks like a character from like a World of Warcraft.
yeah.
Yeah, they did make a movie about it, and this is what they made it look like, where it's like a crossbreed between different animals. It didn't fit in with the description at all.
It looks like Swamp Thing.
It kind of does.
That does not look anything like the description.
Yeah.
And is that messing up people's Christmas lights in that image?
Yeah, I think it.
How dare him? What a
I'm
dick.
seeing that. Yeah, that's a pain in the ass.
I mean, that's
to
the
put up.
movie. What? The Beast of Bray Road? I guess it's a movie. Yeah.
Well, thank you for that, Dan.
Another good
This
one.
is far from over.
I mean, there was some. I guess I wouldn't really say attacks. Actually, I do say one is attack. Let's see. It was in 1972. There was a police described as an attempted break-in at a property near Bray Road. This was a particularly fascinating encounter with the beast because it was the first time actual physical evidence was left behind. According to the police report, the woman who reported the attempted break-in gave a physical description of a large and terrifying creature, consistent with previous accounts of the beast of Bray Road. Additionally, the beast left a 12-inch footprint behind and inflicted severe damage on one of the woman's farm animals. So he wears a size 12.
That's a big foot.
That is a big foot.
Where
We
was
are
the
the
farm
children of
animal
the
hurt?
first lands,
In the rear
and
end?
we will not
No.
be slaves.
Maybe.
Get a little freaky.
But there was one that I would have been scared. The Gibson story. A lady named Gibson, I guess it's the last name. The beast appeared to have planned to attack her physically. She reported feeling a jolt against one of her tires while driving home around Halloween time, which prompted her to stop her vehicle and get out to look around for any injured animals. Suddenly, she caught sight of a large beast sprinting towards her. She scrambled back to her car, and she said as she was driving away, the beast threw itself onto the back of her vehicle, but was unable to hold on as she sped off. See, I don't really believe it because she didn't take no pictures of it, because you figure there'd be like some damage to her car. But yeah, that's the Beast of Bray Road. And only reason I picked that one was because when I went to Wisconsin, I remember me and your brother, Aaron, we talked about the Beast of Bray Road because you know how he likes the cryptid stuff as well.
I will not
He
disappoint.
brought it up and we're just driving around Wisconsin, and they say they usually spot, like we weren't on Bray Road, but they said you would usually see it when corn stalks were up in the fields, so it was easier to hide in. Well, we were talking about it, then and it was nighttime, then all of a sudden we ended up on a road where there was cornfields on both sides. And I'm just like, well, this isn't cool, you know, because I'm actually terrified of fucking werewolves. I hate them. I don't know why. It must have been the scary movies when I growing up. But what made it worse was we're just like, all right, cornfields, okay, you know, kind of scary, but not too bad. Then all of a sudden, a thick fog comes in,
That's a scary movie.
and I'm just like, oh shit, we're about to die.
Here we go. You lose all cell service. That's
Yeah.
a dead giveaway.
Yeah, but I sped down that road. My life was not going to die that night.
But thank you for that, Dan. That's an exciting and scary story at the same time.
Father,
It is.
mother,
Yes.
Zelos,
I like that you guys are choosing ones I haven't heard of,
Kai.
even while looking for choices.
I see one that I'd never even heard of before that you are about to talk about next.
Yeah, this one I thought I had heard of, but when I actually started researching it, I didn't really remember any of these stories. So the Moss Man is my second choice. So in the swamps of Florida, there's a legend of this man, this being. It's bipedal, it's a hairy creature, stood at least 7 feet tall. Unlike Bigfoot though, this creature isn't covered in just hair, it's covered in leaves and branches.
Sniper. I like it.
Yes, he is. So with the branches and the leaves, it's tangled up in the hair. It makes it blend really well for the swamplands of Florida. Reports have been made in the Red Reef Park, West Palm Beach, and Hillsborough Beach, saying that they'd seen that creature there. The Mossman sightings have been going on since at least the 1800s. One such report came about a man, a large man, like a beast, with, like everyone's been saying, a rank odor, and it was covered in swamp grass. Mine didn't say sulfur, just it stink. But I, at this point, will assume it was probably sulfurous. Safe to say.
I did admit I thought you were gonna say swamp ass, but you said swamp grass. You got me on that one. I was ready to start laughing.
Covered in some swamp ass.
Well, the swamp ape also, or skunk ape, sorry, skunk ape also gives off a smell. It seems to be a common thing amongst these cryptids. Well, this moss man was terrorizing swamps in Clay County area and raiding rabbit pens and the livestock of residents, prompting a local sheriff called Sheriff Peeler to organize an armed posse of men that just went out to go hunt this thing down. That was their purpose. We're gonna find that thing.
Do they have pitchforks?
God damn it, Jim, let's get this damn thing.
It's stinking
I
it
tell
up.
you what, Ted. Ted, we gonna get this sumbitch today.
I did
Tired of
not
that
light my
goddamn
own lantern.
branch leaf
I
wearing
don't
some
want her to
bitch.
see this slaughter.
So they spent several weeks going through the muck, dodging alligators and venomous snakes in search for this creature, but they never found it.
Hold on, did you say weeks?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'd have been done
None
after
can
like
do what I do,
an hour.
So I will do
Yeah.
it.
Well, they probably went Brokeback Mountain style.
Oh, okay.
Tent,
All right.
tents are shaking.
You know, more power to them. Whatever they're into.
So there were some other strange reports at the time that some fishermen described a being attacked by an ape-like brute with leaves and branches covering it. One of the most famous reports comes from 1980, when an elderly couple, they were visiting the Red Reef Park. They had been hiking through the scenic area, so they saw this being sitting on a branch, and they thought that it was just a bird sitting on this branch. But then the bird turned around and showed itself to be this fierce-looking face of a moss man. The tree that it was sitting on was its enormous body. The woman was terrified, and she'd been close enough that she was legit scared for her life. So she took off running, and the big creature, Moss Man, if that's what he was, turned back around and just sombered off into the wilderness. I mean, I would be scared if I saw that.
Yeah.
My form was off.
But
Can't let them
this
see.
is a little graphic, just to warn people, but it's a really interesting story. Okay. So another legend that's even earlier than that. So according to this tale, in the 1500s, Spanish conquistadors supposedly raped, killed, and beheaded a local native girl, subsequently tying her disembodied head to a tree, and then that greatly angered the tribe. Their most powerful medicine man then used his magic to call upon the spirits of the swamp to seek out vengeance, after which the girl's head grew to be part of the wilderness and take on human form of weeds, branches, and other vegetation, and going on a hunt to get any Spaniards that she could find. Some of the other versions, the witch doctor, he later created his own golem of branches and trees, or branches and leaves, to keep the Spanish away. And that when his threat was gone, it went off to continue to prowl the swamps to this day.
No haft.
So it's still alive because it was manifested for a job, and it just continues to watch it and make sure that no Spaniards come in there to try to kill any more of their tribe.
It sounds like the last picture that Dan linked from the Wolfman movie is what your creature should look
You
like.
do not know burden
I gotta look at
until
this
you've
again.
seen 1,000
I mean, kinda,
people
yeah.
hanging on your
Yeah,
every
no, you're
word.
right, yeah. I don't have
Get
a
on my
picture
swamp.
of mine because no one's got it. Even if it's a giant tree strolling through the woods, no one's seen it.
Well, we're gonna get an airboat, okay? We're
Ooh.
gonna start going through the swamps on an airboat.
I did
Well,
not
I
light
mean,
my
those other
own
guys spent
lantern.
weeks doing it,
I don't
and
want her
you
to
know,
see this slaughter.
trained trackers.
But did they have an airboat?
I don't know, let me go call them and ask.
Okay, good. Let me know. And then if they did, then we'll each get an airboat and we'll go try to hunt down this swamp thing. Our moss man.
Can we have like nets connecting each of our boats so if we go by it real quick, we can just snatch it up,
Yeah.
Some Scooby-Doo style shit.
run through some doors that shouldn't connect to each other but somehow do through a parallel universe?
I got a big hole in my basement. We can all throw them in, and I could just throw lotion down there every once in a while and have him put it on. You know, and just spray him with a hose, give him a good hose down so he gets all cleaned up. You're gonna be a proper cryptid. God damn it.
Send some shampoo and conditioner down there. Be like, once you done, or here's a brush, and you gonna comb that hair of yours. Get them the leaves and those tree branches out of it. Go come out looking all majestic looking.
Like Bigfoot.
Yeah.
So that is the story of the Moss Man and his cryptid ways.
Here's my dance
I kind of like the story that's a bit older. The Protector version. I think it's really cool how it goes back to the 1500s and being able to create the storyline of, wow, this girl was killed and then they seeked vengeance this way. I don't know, it could be just like a superstition story, you know, like don't say Candyman in the mirror 3 times, you know.
Oh my
That
gosh.
type of thing, I don't know.
You just reminded me of a Joe Biden meme I just saw.
Oh man, what is it?
Oh, they're just like, if you look in the mirror and you say Creepy Joe slow 3 times, Joe Biden like pops through the mirror and like whispers like, oh God, what did it say?
I would assume he'd lean in and start smelling me.
Yes, he starts sniffing you. That's what it was. Oh my God.
Oh, Sniffy Joe. We have no political affiliations here, by the way.
No, I make fun of all of them. No, but the Moss Man, now that like you say the Protector story, I remember watching a start of a show that was like that. It was like I forgot the name of the show, it was a while back. Like it was like in a small town. They send, I think it's like right at the end of high school, you go out into the middle of the woods and you have to stay overnight in the woods, just by yourself. And this one girl, I think a bunch of guys went out there to try to scare her. And she ended up falling, I think, like off a cliff or something. And she was about to die, but some kind of creature, protector of the woods, saved her. And I want to say that it like started going on like a little revenge spree. Dude, that's a buff mofo right there.
Oh.
So, this is a picture of the Swamp Thing. Similar, reminds me of...
Stone Cold Steve Austin? Yeah, me too.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
You know what that creature really reminds me of? The live action Spawn movie, if he was green.
Yeah, it does. Spawn's a great movie.
That was a pretty good movie.
I like the Moss Man. I liked it. Thank you for bringing that up.
Thanks, guys. That's pretty cool.
Alright, Aaron. What's your last one?
My last one is called the Ninjin. Have y'all heard of that before?
I have.
I have not.
Okay. So, I stumbled upon this one and I was like, okay, this one doesn't seem that freaky. And then I started looking at the pictures and I'm like, yeah, I'd be freaked out if I came across this. So, I tried to find a beginning like I did with the Flatwoods monster. I tried, like with that one, I went all the way back to its first encounter. And I wanted to do the same thing with the Ninjin. But it's kind of like unclear when the Ninjin was actually first sighted. I tried looking up accounts, but the first official account, it appeared on a website forum. And I know what you're thinking, oh, a website forum. I thought the same thing, but okay, hear me out here. So on this website forum, an anonymous person made a post and claimed to be an employee on a government well research vessel. This person said that they had encountered a mysterious creature that they were told to be quiet about. Originally, the employee said that the entire crew on his vessel initially assumed that this thing in the water was a foreign submarine. However, when they went to approach it, this unknown large object, it started moving, and they all quickly realized it was a giant being, and it was alive. So he goes on to talk more about this creature and in more detail, and we'll get to that here in a minute. But this specific post on this forum, it started to gain a lot of popularity, especially over in Japan. And this Japanese magazine that was pretty popular over there featured an article over this post, and I think it was like in 2007 in one of the magazine articles. So this magazine article is noteworthy not only because it increased the interest of the Ninjin within Japan, but also because this article contained a Google Maps image never seen before of supposedly this creature. Somebody went on Google Maps and found you know how on Google Maps you can zoom in, and found an image of this creature in the ocean on Google Maps. So before I show you this picture, I'm going to describe to you what this creature looks like, okay? So the Ninjin is estimated to be around 20 to 30 meters long. It is entirely white in color and roughly human shaped. The reports differ on whether it has arms and legs. Some people say it has 5-finger hands, and some people say it has fins, and others say it has like a mermaid type tail, and others are saying it has tentacles. There's a large debate, right? Multiple different accounts. But however, everyone who has reported seeing it all agree that the Ninjin has no distinctive facial features to speak of, but it does have a mouth and eyes. Everyone says it has a small slitted mouth and 2 huge black eyes. So I have an image of what it supposedly looks like, and I'll link that right here. And then I have an image of the Google Map image that I'll link so you guys can look at it. And we haven't mentioned this in the episode, but just like all the images, go to our website and you can see the images. Click on the cryptid thing. So anyways, the image of what it supposedly looks like, I can see that being mistaken maybe as a whale or like a big submarine, kind of. Now the Google Earth image or Google Map image of whatever that is in the water looks like a sperm whale, a white Moby Dick sperm whale.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
The first one looks like a seal body.
Yeah. Some type of like, what is it, bottlenose dolphin? It's the bottlenose.
Beluga whale?
Beluga whale, there you go. Beluga, yeah, like the beluga whale.
So, this Google Earth picture, couldn't it just be the breaking of a wave? Like a white cap. This isn't in the ocean?
I didn't use that.
Yeah, it's in the ocean.
Okay.
I mean, for me, it's not super clear. Are we talking about right over where the pin is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that being easily mistaken for just a break in the wave.
Yeah, the white caps.
Or like, yeah, white caps.
I don't know. The only reason I say I don't know is because do you see the left of the pin and what it looks like 2 fins?
Mm-hmm.
That's the only reason I would say I don't know if it was a wave or not. Just because of that one spot. But I don't know. That type of photo or photographic evidence is kind of like, oh, that's iffy, you know. So I'm like, I need some more evidence. I need some eyewitness accounts. I need some video. Give me some proof. So I started digging into it. And ever since that article was released in 2007, there have been multiple eyewitness accounts around the world of individuals having encounters with this creature. But even though there is a lot of eyewitness accounts, there's almost no photographic evidence. Now this is simply because all these sightings supposedly occur at nighttime, which is super difficult to photograph in. They're out in the middle of a rough sea, which how many people go out to sea for the fun of it looking for this thing and have a camera on them? Not many people, and plus it's expensive. And it just it doesn't well, yeah, it's super expensive. So to date, there's been no solid photographic evidence besides that Google Map image, which I really don't even consider that solid photographic evidence. I consider that as like just kind of like a mysterious, could be a wave, could be a whale, but I don't think it's the Ninjin. So I started searching.
I saw that one.
Yeah, that one is like that image you just linked, Anna. I was like, that's a walking tadpole. What the hell? I'd be like, oh, come here, cute little thing. What are you?
Exactly.
I dug a little deeper, and I did come across a video that may show the creature.
They thought they could
And I
tame
was
our
lucky to
land.
come across this. It
Let's see
is a
it.
video in all Japanese,
Konnichiwa.
and it is looks like an underground oil rig or some type of underground rig deep undersea, and they're video recording in 2010. And it's a 2-minute long video, but I'd say fast forward to about a minute 23. And around a minute 23, you see in the distance something appearing
My Oma always said
with giant eyes and a slit for a mouth. And it almost looks like a submarine, but whatever it is, it's huge.
Whoa. It kind of looks like an eel face.
It does. It looks very much like an eel.
But it's like completely covered in sand, as if it's hiding in the sand.
Camouflaging itself.
Yeah, you have, earlier in the video, you have like a squid and you have other animals that you can kind of sort of compare. You can see their size, right? With this thing, you can't really determine how big it is.
No, it doesn't look small by any means. Like, I would not want to come across it while I'm in the ocean.
The first comment on that video, it's an Alaskan bullworm off of SpongeBob.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it kind of does look like it, but yeah.
Yeah, so I thought that was interesting, and that's the end of my Ninja Cryptid.
I like that one. That one's pretty good.
Thank you.
Yeah, I've never, like, really dug into them. I've heard of them. I've seen some images, but I liked that story. Thank you for sharing it.
You're welcome. All right, so now that we've went over our personal cryptid picks, there are some notable mention of cryptids that are not on our list. I think, Dan, you have one for us, right?
Yeah, you know, of course, I know everyone probably thinks like, oh, Dan's gonna start talking about Bigfoot.
Nope.
I'm not. Not going to. Because we talk about him enough. We need to talk about his VP, Chupacabra. We don't talk about him enough.
Oh, yeah, I want to know more about the history of the Chupacabra.
So, the Chupacabra. The first known... I don't like using the word attacks for my VP, so I said feeding.
Okay.
So, the first known feeding happened in Puerto Rico during March of 1995. 8 sheep were discovered with their blood completely drained from 3 puncture wounds in their chest. There was an eyewitness description of a bipedal creature that stood 4 to 5 feet tall with spikes down its backs. Long, thin arms and legs, with an alien-like oblong head with red or black eyes. It varies at times, it seems. This creature, with its first known act of killing and feeding on the goats, they gave the name El Chupacabra, which translates to goat sucker. So, yeah, not too proud of that name. I don't think he appreciates the translation.
I don't think so either.
But, you know, with the description of the El Chupacabra being released, this creature started getting more reports on it, popping up throughout the Caribbean, Latin America, Mexico, and even Florida. So just jump straight to Florida. But we know everything happens in Florida. Crazy state.
The Moss Man was there.
Yeah. But yeah, in Puerto Rico, about 30 citizens claimed to have seen the El Chupacabra. They swore that this one, though, had swooped down from the sky and then was able to leap over treetops. Which is a little iffy, but okay. You know.
Goddamn gymnast.
Yeah. Then, of course, November 1995, on a farm in Puerto Rico, El Chupa, that's what we call him, struck again. Farmers awoke to a terrifying scene of most of their livestock, of turkeys, rabbits, goats, cats, dogs, horses, and cows, were all dead. They were all drained of their blood. Only evidence left behind was the mysterious 3 puncture wounds on the corpses. So, you know, he was very hungry. What can I say?
This reminds me a lot of the cattle mutilation stories.
It ties into that, too.
Skinwalker Ranch.
Yeah. Then, this one story is really iffy to me, so I threw it in there because I just don't believe it. In one city in Puerto Rico, a homeowner said he actually saw a glimpse of this goat sucker. It had busted through a bedroom window and attacked a stuffed teddy bear that belonged to his kid. It had long hairy arms and red eyes. It then fled back through the window but not after leaving a puddle of slime and some rancid meat on the windowsill before it was out of sight again. This thing's been attacking the animals and all that, then all of a sudden now it's confusing it with a teddy bear in the city of all places too. So it's like,
Sounds suspicious.
it does. But yeah, after that first sighting in 1995, El Chupa was blamed for more than 1,000 animal deaths, all resulting from blood loss through puncture wounds, and that was just all by the end of 1995. But a few more eyewitnesses came forward, described it as being monkey-like, but with no tail. So like a Curious George type thing. Chimpanzee, yeah. Anyways, they said it had large oval eyes that sometimes glowed, gray skin, and a long snake-like tongue, fangs, long spinal quills that may double as wings.